for business analytics and reporting. For this session, I request faculties of our department and organizing secretary to escort the chief guest of the session. The first and foremost part of this session is welcome and introduction of guest of this session. I would like to call Mr. Gautam, research scholar, to welcome address and guest of the introduction of this session.
Good afternoon, everyone who present here, respected dignitaries on the dais, chairperson, keynote speaker, and reporter, and of the dais dignitaries, professors, delegates, my dear research scholars, and dear students. It is with great pleasure and excitement that I extend a warm welcome to each and every one of you to this esteemed gathering of technical session 4, which is focused on business analytics and reporting on behalf of the Department of Studies in Commerce, VSK University, Ballari. It is my pleasure to introduce Professor Y.M. Kamble, former Dean and Professor, Department of Commerce and Research in Rani Chennamma University, Belgavi. Our esteemed chairperson for the 4th technical session, Sir brings a wealth of experience and expertise in the area of business studies. I would like to introduce in brief about the well-wisher, resource person, and chairperson of this technical session. Sir was born in the year of 1962. Sir holds a doctorate in commerce in the year 1995 from Karnataka University, Dharwad, one of the oldest and leading institution in the Karnataka for higher education. Sir has more than 35 years of experience in teaching profession. In his experience, Sir has worked and contributed as syndicate member, academic council member, finance officer, director of PMIE and NAC peer team, chairman, dean, chairman, and HOD in various universities, that is Mangalore University, Karnataka University, Rani Chennamma University. Sir was invited as a resource person, expert for hiring professors, associate professors, assistant professors in various universities, statutory bodies like KPIC and KIA. And Sir delivered special lectures in UGC HRDCs and many other workshops and others. Sir has participated and presented more than 200 plus research articles and published 100 plus research articles in leading national and international journals. Sir has done more than 4 minor and major research projects which is sponsored by UGC, ICSR and universities along with Canara Bank chairs. Sir has awarded more than 15 PhDs and 8 MPhils in his tenure. I would like to warm welcome you, sir, for this occasion. Now I request Dr. Jilan Basa, sir, to offer flowers as a token of love, affection, and respect. Thank you so much, sir. Sir, please, photo. Thank you, sir. I extend to introduce Professor A.S. Shiral Shetty, sir, a keynote speaker of the session, former Vice Chancellor of Karnataka University, Dharwad. Professor A.S. Shiral Shetty, sir, is Professor, Department of Studies and Research in Commerce, Karnataka University, Dharwad. Sir was born in the year of 1966. Sir holds a doctorate in commerce in the year of 2006 from Karnataka University. Sir has more than 30 years of experience in teaching profession and awarded more than 10 PhDs and 1 MPhil in his experience. Sir worked as Vice Chancellor, Syndicate member, Academic Council member, Dean, Chairman, and Head of the Department in Karnataka University. Sir was invited as resource persons in many occasions like UGC, workshops, and others. Sir has participated, presented more than 200 articles and 100 plus research papers published in reputed journals. Sir's expertise in the subjects cost, marketing, finance, and other subjects. Sir has done more than 3 minor and major projects sponsored by UGC and Canara Bank Chair. I would like to welcome you, sir, for this session. I request reporter Megaraj sir to offer flower as a token of love and respect. Thank you, sir. I extend warm welcome to Dr. Megraj B. sir for the reporter of this session. I call Dhanraj to offer flowers as a token of respect for this session. Once again, thank you, sir. I welcome once again everyone who present here, dignitaries on the dais and off the dais. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to you about delegates on the dais. Thank you.
Thank you, Gautam sir. Next, I would like to call Professor S. Shirashati sir, keynote speaker of this session, and Professor, Department of Studies and Research in Commerce, Karnataka University, Dharwad, to address the gathering, sir.
Good afternoon to everyone. Respected chairperson of this technical session, Professor H.Y. Kamble sir, who was my teacher and who is also a teacher now. I was his student at my M.Com. He taught me at M.Com. Now I am very lucky that I am speaking in front of him. So I think it is an opportunity for speaking in front of my guru. And I like to say few words about the chairperson. Today chairperson is Professor Jatappa, organizing secretary Professor Jiran Bharsha sir, senior most in the department Professor Bhiman Gowda, then all my young and friends who are the faculty of this university. So when last week only I have been assigned, Jatappa called me, sir, you act as a chairperson of one of the technical session which we are organizing in the national seminar. I immediately say yes. Because the chairperson duty is very less. So I said yes. Because I was driving in the car and he called me, sir, sir, you want to act as a chairperson of the technical? I said yes. Then one day after, he called me, sir, you have to act as a speaker. Matte kelde, on what topic you have to speak? Sir, you speak on accounting under sustainability. Then I thought, let's speak because I am the teacher of accounting. So let's take any social accounting or environmental accounting, any part of the accounting. Then when I received a mail from organizing secretary on Monday, you have been assigned the topic as business analytics and reporting. Then I thought what to speak on this occasion. So from Monday I started some preparation on this. So ultimately I prepared some level for business analytics. What I thought is business analytics is not a new concept. It was a concept which was existed long back. But the name used was different. As the organization gets more and more complex because of innovation in the technology, what we used to get from the data. So the technology changes, name changes. Earlier we were using one name, now we are using another name for the same. Right? That is what I thought in this case. So you know, all of us know that every business, whether small, big, whatever may be, it is facing the problem of making decisions. Every time they have to make a decision. One side, companies are facing a problem of decision making. So how to solve this problem? Because many problems, maybe investment problem, maybe HR problem, maybe marketing problem, maybe that capital budgeting problem, maybe financing problem, maybe consumer satisfaction, maybe advertising, that is sales promotion strategy, maybe channels of distribution strategy. So many issues comes to the management. So to solve all this problem, what to be done? So if the organization is very small, they are taking decision on the basis of guts. Sole proprietor, small scale, they decide what they want. But as organization grows, because of the concept of joint stock companies, managements and owners are separated. Owners are somewhere else. Managements are managing the day-to-day affairs of the company. And earlier the market was restricted. It was the village level, local level, state level, national level. Now the market expanded throughout the globe. Means customers are not local, customers are in globe. If a company fails to take right decision at the right time, suppose if we take a capital budgeting decision, what we do? We will calculating, earlier they were calculating accounting rate of return. Then they started payback period. Then we are now going for NPV, IRR, PI. Then along with this we are taking into consideration before finalizing risk and uncertainty techniques to decide whether to invest or not to invest. If we come to the marketing, so if you want to take product decision, the 4 P's are there in the marketing. So marketing manager has to take product decision, promotion decision, physical distribution decision, pricing decision. How product decision will be arrived? There are many products nowadays. Find n number of products. You go to that is Amazon. What is the number of products it is selling? We don't know. N number of products, lakhs together products are there in the market. Suppose the Amazon want to focus on sales, because it is selling n number of products. So in order to attract, what it has to do? Earlier when the market was restricted, they go for studying few number of customers. Or if they want to analyze something, they go for some of the published reports. But because of the expansion of the market throughout the world, now the business is more and more complex. So earlier, suppose if you want to go for capital structure, what do you do? We are teaching EBT, EPS, EBIT analysis, EPS analysis, MPS analysis. Is it enough for us now? EBT and EPS analysis. Only says that because of this mix, your EPS like this, EBIT is, if it is EBIT, EPS and MPS is like this. But now because of the competition throughout the world, whatever analysis what we are teaching is not enough. So to solve all this problem, what the business are facing, they want a tool, because they have to arrive optimal solution for the business problems. Right? This is a triangle like one side we have the business problems. So to arrive optimal solution, what we want? We want a principle or a tools we want. As earlier we were discussing, what is a tool? Earlier financial statements were used to solve the problem. Later on, because of the development in accounting, management accounting tools are used, where still we are using ratio analysis, comparative statement, common size statements, fund flow statement, cash flow statements were used to analyze the business strengths and weakness. So after analyzing all this, we are using some statistical tools we are applying the same to arrive at the optimal solutions. So after this, we have the statistical models. So many statistical tools we are using. We are making testing of hypothesis. Then econometric models are also be used to solve our business problems. Means here we have the business problems. We want a tools. Business problems are solved by using the tools of various disciplines to arrive optimal solutions. Because we want a solution which will give sustainability for the business. If the solution that we have arrived, if the insight of what we have arrived, if it is a wrong. Then what will happen? What is the effect of wrong insights? So whatever solution that arrived, if it is not correct, because all the decisions what we are taking is not for the current. So decisions what we have arrived now is for future. So future involved risk and uncertainty. Whenever the effect of the decision is for the future, so future is always with risk and uncertainty. So in order to manage this risk and uncertainty, we want a more advanced tool, more sophisticated tool. Along with these traditional tools, financial accounting tools, management accounting tools, cost accounting tools, then financial management tools, statistical tools, we are going beyond all this. Using this, adding something new. So now all researchers are using statistical tools with SPSS package. Machine learning tools, machine-oriented tools are used to arrive the conclusion, right? So that is what here. So there management of the business organization, they have to take strategical as well as strategic as well as tactical decisions. So in order to arrive strategic decisions, we require a lot of information, lot of data is required, but because of the complexity of data, it is very difficult to arrive conclusion. So we are using all the softwares. Through the software, we are analyzing. Say many research scholars are using Excels. So they use Excel sheets to arrive for the conclusion. But we don't know what Excel sheet, because say if we assume that they are ANOVA tests, Z test, T test, they feed the data, click on the Z test, that gives the result. But why Z test is used, T test is used, why chi-score is used, why correlation is made, why parametric test, why non-parametric test? Many researchers we don't. So here, business analytics is an advanced tool, which is also, in other words, as chairman, organization secretary, and all of us discussing, what is this business with agilence new normal? He said, old wine, new bottle. So this is business analytics is also a old wine, putting in the new bottle in the name of business analytics, because of the complex of nature of data, because of use, because of what, say if you take an example of Amazon. If the Amazon company wants to know the customer satisfaction about the various products, can it be possible with all our statistical tools manually that we are using? It may not. If they want to go for the customers' purchasing pattern of the products of the Amazon, how can Amazon company will come to the idea that so many customers are purchasing so many products, what is their behavior, what is their attitude, whether they are satisfied or dissatisfied. So this can be done only with the help of business analytics. Now question is, what is business analytics? So as what you defined as a business research, definition given by all authors is same. So what has been, it is a practice of analyzing and interpreting data. So what we are doing for researcher, what we are doing? We are collecting, analyzing, interpreting. Collection of data, then its analysis purpose is, what is the purpose? Why we are making a research? The very purpose of research is to get something, right? So here the definition says that it is a practice of analyzing and interpreting data to gain insights into business performance and identifying areas of improvement. So what, as a researcher, we are collecting the data, analyzing, then we are making interpretation, at the end we are making suggestions. The very purpose of making suggestion is, the definition says, what it says, finding the insights into the business performance, means we are analyzing, we are finding what is the performance of business. Say we are calculating ratios, current ratios are calculated, quick ratios, profitability ratios, liquidity ratios, solvency ratios. Why these are to be calculated? The very purpose of calculation of all these ratios is to know the insight. What is the performance of company? If any weakness is in the performance, for which there is a need of making suggestions. Same definition. It is a practice of analyzing it and interpreting the data to gain insight into business performance and identifying areas of improvement. If you go another definitions here, it is a process of, what they say, it is a process of transforming data into insights. It is a process of transforming data into insights to improve business decisions. So business companies are using this analytics. The purpose is to make improved decisions. So whatever decisions that companies are taking so far, without using analytics, they may face a problem of high level decision. So even with all analysis, many companies are failing because of they may be making some mistake in making the decision. So to arrive the right decision, so it is the process of transforming data into insights to improve the business decision, or it is also given another definition, it is a process of transforming data into insights to improve the business decision, or again it is also defined as a process, it is a practical application of statistical analysis and technologies on business data to identify trends and predict business outcomes. So the very purpose of all this is to uncover patterns, then to examine trends, to make correlation, then ultimately all these things are to be to arrive a good decision. Then when you come to types of business analytics, there are many more are there, but I have listed only 6 types of business analytics. One is descriptive. So very purpose of this is what happened. So in order to know what happened, what we'll do, we'll take the historical data of a companies. So looking at the past history, we'll come to the conclusion that this has happened, right? So decisions here we'll analyze the data, then we got an insight that this has happened in a company. Say all management accounting tools we are using. So there will come to the conclusion that this was happened in the company. That is what a descriptive analytics. Then another one is diagnostic analytics. Why did this happen? We have to find out what is. We cannot depend on what was happened. What is expected is why this has happened. What is the reason behind this? So if you go to the doctors, if any disease comes, what they do? They go for diagnostic analysis. What is the purpose of giving all the diagnostic analysis? They want to check what are the reason why this has happened and to prescribe the solution for that. Right? They make diagnostic analysis. Then based on that, predictive analytics, where it is what might happen in the future. So analytics, they make what might happen in the future. In this case, prediction about the future outcomes. So after analyzing the data, after interpretation, they come to the knowledge that what would happen in the future, what are the outcomes that can be predicted. So in order to predict, we are using regression analysis. Right? So in the research, we are using regression analysis to find out what will be the outcome of these inputs. So using these inputs, If you go for regression analysis, we will come to the outputs. So that here predictive. Then after this, we have the prescriptive. What should be, what should we do next? So after diagnostic, after detailed study, why this has happened, then we have to go for prescriptive analytics, what we should do for the next. So how to solve the problem here. Then we have the text analysis, what is the customer sentiment and behavior, how the behavior, how the reaction of customers. We have to analyze, because here there are two types of data, one is structured and unstructured. So structured data are quantitative. If you want to analyze unstructured data, we have to go for text analysis. So from this we will able to know the behavior aspect of the consumer. So for which we have to go for text analysis. Then instead of analyzing one locality or another locality, these decisions are differ from one locality to another locality, or one region to another region, or one state to another state. Whatever the customer satisfaction in Ballari district may not be there in the hospital Vijayanagar district or somewhere else. If you want to know the difference between the customer satisfaction or customer delightment, so we have to go for separate analysis, region wise or locality wise analysis, that is called as spatial analytics. What is the trend in different location, that is to be analyzed. Then here essential of business analytics. What are the essentials? So as said, is a definition. If you go to the definition, first step is data collection and its management. So data collection, where there are very n number of sources of data, we have to select what is the right, because analyst should be very careful what you want to achieve from this analysis. So accordingly, as a researcher, so based on your topic, you are collecting the data. So collection of data and management. Then after collection, it has to be analyzed to gain into insights. So collect the data, if it is, unless it is analyzed, we cannot gain insight into it. So to get, we use the various statistical methods and software tools to identify pattern, trends and relationship in the data. Then data analyzed should be presented. Whatever data analyzed, that should be presented systematically so that it's to be communicated to the users. So if you want to communicate, what you want to say, it is received by this, because communicator and receiver are two different people. So if it is not communicated properly, then receiver may receive in different way. So therefore, here data visualization needs to be presented in a meaningful way. Whatever data analyzed should be presented in a meaningful way, for which techniques like charts, graphs, dashboards can help you to communicate insights effectively. Then we have the predictive modeling, which is a technique that uses statistical algorithm and machine learning to make prediction about future events or trends based on the data. Then we also have business intelligence, which is a tool to provide extracts insights and analyze data from multiple sources on real time, because source of information are many. At a time we want to get different sources and get the outcome from all the sources. So we not have it, now we are using business analytics, that is business intelligence. Then question is, why business analytics is important? Why other tools? Why not other tools that we are using so far? So when you compare with those, then you can say that business analytics is more important than those. So very purpose here is management is facing a problem of making decision. So when you want to make a right decision, it has to based on data driven decision. If any decision is taken with the data driven, then it is an improvement in the decision making. If you take based on the gut or institution, then that may affect adversely if you take on the guts basis. So if all the decisions taken based on the data, then we have the improved decision making. Then here all the decisions are based on the data. It is after analysis. So there is improvement in the business processes because of decisions are based on the what is the need of the business. So analyze the outcome is there is a outcome is for the suggestion of improvement. So if the business operations are improved, then automatically it saves the cost. Then since the analytic is for the customers, so customer analysis or customers analysis done. So in order to improve the customer retention, as in the marketing it says that retention of customer is more profitable than attraction of new customers. If any company fails to retain the existing customer, it tries to attract only new customer, it is pouring water in the leakage bottle or leaking pot. So to enhance the customer experience, so we have a company should meet the expectations of customers, because nowadays you know that customer expectation has been rising. So if company do not meet what is the expectation of the customers, then company will not survive. So unless we satisfy, unless we deliver to the expectation of customers, it will not possible to survive in this modern or globalized era. So to have it, this analytic is very important. Then increased efficiency, because it is a data-driven decision, expects efficiency here. Then strategic planning. So all companies are making strategic planning, which is a continuous development implementation of strategy. So strategic planning is a process of continuous development and implementation of strategy as per the requirements. So earlier planning were made in the beginning and till the whole period it go on implementing. But in the strategic planning, it's not like that. It has to be revised in the middle also. As and when there is change in the need in the strategy, so company go for new strategy to meet the expectation. So that will also be made here. Then for if the company having an opportunity for growth, so this can be analyzed with the help of data. As it is said, predictive model, which predicts the future. So predict future trends, what will be the requirements of the after 10 years, what will the requirements after the many years, can be known with help of analytics that help here. Then anticipate customer needs, because when it predicts, it anticipates what will the change in the customer needs. What was our needs may not be the needs of today. If you take our example, our needs are very limited, now needs are different. So how companies will expect that these will be the change in the days to come. So whatever after 20 years, say today's expectation may not be same after 20 years to predict. If you predict now only, then we can plan for what will be the future corporate. So that is the one of the outcome need of this. Then customer retention and increase sales. When you retain the customer, it increases the sales. Then make strategic decision about where to invest your resources, whether to invest in fixed asset, current assets, that also be decided based on the analytics. Then resource allocation is a very difficult task nowadays in your marketing. We are studying Boston Consulting Group and another general electric model. So those two models are analyzed in the strategic planning for the purpose of resource allocation is very difficult nowadays. Even though we have companies having resources, but where to allocate is a difficult task. Whether to allocate A product, B product, C product, that analyze on the Boston Consulting Group, the two dimension, growth and market share. So we have the question marks, we have the stars, cash cows, dogs. What is the purpose of those table that Boston Consulting Group analysis? The very purpose of that analysis is to allocate the resources. While making strategic planning, whether the resources are funded to question marks, whether resources are funded to stars, whether resources are funded to cash cows, whether resources are funded to dogs. Because strategy, diverse strategy, invest strategy, hold strategy. Right? If you won't go for diverse strategy, you have to see that what is the market share and what is the growth rate. If the market share is low, growth rate is low, then how can it is possible? Because of the business analytics that can be analyzed here. So resource allocation. Then regarding human resource, I said nowadays it is very difficult to hold the employees, particularly in the corporate sector, that is software Labor turnover is very high. Whatever labor today may not be there tomorrow. So much labor turnover is there. So opportunity cost of labor turnover. So it is very high because we cannot get the same labor. So to hold such type of labor, we have to identify who is good labor for the company, for which the analytical, that is business analytics, helps you. Then risk management, because since the decisions are the future, which involve risk and uncertainty, so to manage the risk, we required have a tools, that is business analytics helps to manage the risk here. Then there are some business analytic best practices. So here best practice are a business analyst. What has to do is they have to define what is the goal, what is the objectives of business analytics. If goal is not clear, if the goals are not matched with the goals of a company wants to know about the customer's satisfaction. The analytics goal is also to know the customer satisfaction. So that is why here they have to define what is the goals of a business analyst. Then based on the goals only, because based on the objective of research, what we'll do? What we're doing? If our research objective is to make the customer satisfaction, what type of data is to be collected? Whether primary data or secondary data? If you want to make customer retention survey, if you want to know whether customers are delighted, if you want to know the attitude of customers, if you want to know the perception of customers. So data collection depends upon the goals what we had. So therefore here we have to define goals clearly, accordingly collect the data, that is quality data, collection of quality data. Then quality data, what is quality data? Which data is called as quality? A data which is accurate in analysis. Many researchers nowadays they are doing, by sitting in their home they fill the questionnaire on their own. Is it accurate? Is it quality data for research? ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಗಳು, ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಸ್ಕಾಲರ್ ತಮ್ಮ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ಗೆಲ್ಲ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಫಿಲ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಡ್ರಿ 10 ಅಂತೇಳಿ. ಆರ್ ಎಲ್ಸ್ ದೇ ಫಿಲ್ ದ ಓನ್ಲಿ 100, ದೇ ಫುಟ್ 1000. 100 ಫಿಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, 1000 ಅಂತೇಳಿ. ಸ್ಯಾಂಪಲ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಾಡಿಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ 1000 ಮಾಡೀನಿ ಸರ್. 10 ಸರ್ವೆ ಮಾಡಿರಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ರು. ನೀವು ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಬಾ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ತರೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅವರು. ದೇ ನಾಟ್ ಬ್ರಿಂಗ್. What guide has to do? Guide has to believe on the research scholar only. Then is it quality data? Based on the goals, collect the quality data. The data which is called as quality when it is accurate for analysis. If it is not accurate for analysis, then it is not said to be quality. Then after collecting quality data, use appropriate tools and techniques. Many researchers ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ, what they do, their object is one, the tools used is another. ಎನವ ಯಾಕೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹೇಳಂಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಸ್ಕೋರ್ ಯಾಕೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಸರ್ ಅವ್ರು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿ, ನಾನು ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ವೇರ್ ಹಾಕಿದೆ ಬಂತು. ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಔಟ್ಕಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಅನಾಲಿಸಿಸ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕೆ? ದೇ ಡು ನಾಟ್ ನೋ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಪರ್ಪಸ್, ವಾಟ್ ಟೂಲ್ಸ್, ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅಪ್ರೋಪ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಟೂಲ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಕಾಂಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್. So if you want to have best analytic use of appropriate analytical tool and techniques, like here statistical analysis, data visualization, machine learning techniques, so they have to be used. Then whatever insights they got out of the analysis should be communicated. Communicate insight effectively. So how when it is said to be effective? The data communicated should be effective. ನಾವು ಕೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟಿಗೆ, why so many graphs? ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಟೇಬಲ್ ಗ್ರಾಫ್ ಹಾಕಿರ್ತಾರೆ. why you are using so many graphs ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಸರ್ ಅದರ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ ದ ಗ್ರಾಫ್, ಸೊ ಐ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಗ್ರಾಫ್. ನಾ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಊಟ ತುಂಬ ಉಪ್ಪಿನಕಾಯಿ ಆಗಬಾರ್ದು. ವೆರ್ ಎವರ್ ನೆಸಸರಿ, ವೇರ್ ಯು ವಾಂಟ್ ಹೈಲೈಟ್ ಮೋರ್, which is more to be communicated, which attracts the users, that only to be used. So here for effective communication, using visualization and other techniques make your insight easy to understand. Then continuously monitor and refine the analysis. Whatever analysis made, it should be monitored to refine. It has to be updated. Whatever data collection process that followed may not be outdated. It should be refined. Then a company should foster data-driven culture among the users, among the managerial personnel who are making the decision. If the culture is not there, if the data-driven culture is not there, to tighten their collars. Some companies, they are taking expansion decision, merger decision, without knowing whether post-merger is beneficial to the company which is absorbing other company. So if you want to have more effect, the best effect or post-merger effect is highly, more information or more income to the or wealth to the company, then it has to be accepted. But here, if the decisions are taken based on the data after calculation, what is pre-merger, what is post-merger, using all this, whether it will be continued for the future days too or not. So post-merger maybe immediately after 2-3 years may be very good. What about after 10 years, 20 years? So whether this sustainability will continue after another 50 years or at least 25 years. So to evaluate that, all decisions should be taken based on the data, that is to be foster the data driven culture, which means make the training, provide the training, then support to employees, investing in analytic infrastructure and encouraging collaboration across department. Then start with hypothesis. Whatever you want to achieve, first you have to have hypothesis. Many researchers note, thesis without hypothesis is not a thesis. Hypothesis. Hypo illa andre thesis illa. What purpose you want to go for collect all the work we are doing, analytics, business analyst is doing. Collection data ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, analyze ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. The very purpose, if you don't know why you are doing, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ it starts with a hypothesis. Then a company should involve stakeholders. So who are the stakeholders here? What is it? Important to involve stakeholders from across the organization, because it is the stakeholder who are inside the company are going to implement the outcomes of the analytics made by the analysis. Right? If the stakeholders are not involved, then they may not feel that it is our company or the decisions are taken by us. So that involve everyone who are there. Then ensure data security and privacy. Whatever the outcomes, what are the insights found from the analysis, if it is not securely maintained, if the privacy is not maintained, if somebody takes advantage of this, if those who are involved want to take the advantage of this effort made by the company by investing, because you know that yesterday I was going, what is the salary of analyst? Per annum package analyst, big companies having the analyst, their post called as analyst in the big companies, who has been made huge amount of salary. If the outcomes are leaked, the effort made by the company are taken away by others. So that is why here company what say, ensure data security and privacy. Then emphasize data governance, means develop policies and processes to manage the data across the organization. Then monitor and measure the impact of this analytics. Then why companies are switching to self-service business, self-service analytics? Because there is one research which was published in the Harvard Business Journal. There are many benefits to self-service analytics. 72% of the survey response says that productivity increased by empowering the frontline workers with data analytics. So other benefits are include customer engagement, satisfaction, employee engagement and satisfaction, product or service quality, and increased motivation. So that is why they are using, instead of depending on outsider analytics, they go for employing their own analytics. Then we have the difference between data analytics and business analytics. Data analytics job is to analyze the data and find the outcomes, but not make the decision. Then whereas business analytics will do all this, and the very purpose they advise for the decision. So decision focused analysis is the business analytics. Data, that is technical aspect, is the data analytics. Decision driven analytics is a business analytics. We have listed a scope and everything here. Then there are some examples where we can go for business analysis. Then this very purpose is to whatever analysis made ought to be reported in the form of different way of presentation. That is, a report is a communication of the study analytics made by the business analytics to the users of this result, outcomes. So that is what the reports. So as chit comes, conclude. So with this, I thank the organizer. With a short notice, I've been invited by the chairperson and all faculty members. So in 3 to 4 days, this much as I have done. If time was given at least some few days, I could have done a little bit more. But with a short notice, because of friend, I accepted. ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಅದಾರೆ, ಒಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ಬಾರ್ದು. ಬೇರೆ ಯಾರಾದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ಟು ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ನೋಟಿಸ್ನ ನಮಗೇನು ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ ರೀ, ನಾವೇನು ಬರೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ಬೋದಿತ್ತೇನೋ. ಬಟ್ ಏನೋ ನನಗೆ ಇನ್ವೈಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸು, ಹೋಗಿ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಏನು ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಸೊ ವಿತ್ ದಿಸ್ ಐ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಎವ್ರಿ ಒನ್ ಫಾರ್ ಗಿವಿಂಗ್ ಮೀ ಅನ್ ಆಪರ್ಚುನಿಟಿ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಫಾರ್ ಪೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಲಿಸ್ನಿಂಗ್. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಅಂಡ್ ಆಲ್.
Thank you, A. Shirag Shetty sir, for your valuable information to all participants. Now, most important part of the session is presentation of the research papers. Now, I would like to hand over the session to the chairperson of the session, H.Y. Kamble sir, former Dean, Department of Studies in Research and Commerce, Rani Chennamma University, Belgavi.
This is the time for the participants to present to a research work. I would like to make a request of all the participants. Restrict your presentation within the 5 minutes due to the time constraints. To try to explain the research paper, especially for introductions, objectives of the research papers, research methodology and data analysis and interpretation. At the last, in unique system, you are finding some solutions. I request all the paper presenters to restrict only for this content. So we try to be finished within the 5 minutes. Now, I would like to call first paper presenter, Ashwati P.S., co-author Fatima Page and Jensen Tosum. Basically from the, they are going to be presenting of title, The Emerging Trends in Taxation in India.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Fatima. Ashwini and Jasna are my teammates. We are from Kerala, postgraduate students of Srishila College, Calicut. Today, as part of our academic journey, we are here to present on paper titled Emerging Trends in Taxation in India. Trends in taxation in India are changing globally due to technological advancement, increasing concern about sustainability and social responsibility. One of the key trends is digital taxation, which is fueled by the growth of digital commerce. One of the key trends is digital taxation, which is fueled by the growth of digital commerce. However, this trend brings opportunities as well as challenges. Our paper will work around these opportunities and challenges. Our study is mainly focused on understanding economic landscape. Next slide. Understanding economic landscape, effective policy making, adapting new regulation, impact on business and individuals. Our study has been conducted by making use of secondary source of data. We collected data from the newspaper, research paper, and literature, and websites like Google Finance, Yahoo were also used for collecting the information. Next, we can move on to the objectives. Our study aims to understand. Next slide.
Go back.
We want to capture your movements.
This side.
By photograph.
This side, please. You yourself also.
Okay, our objectives. We aim to understand the impact of digitalization on taxation, to analyze the role of taxation in promoting environmental sustainability, and explore international comparison of tax administration with Indian tax reform. Next, I welcome Ashwini and Jasmia to explain more about our objectives.
Next objective is impact of digitalization on taxation. The first point is taxation on digital transaction. As we all know, everything is become online now. So digital transaction also comes under the purview of taxation. Next is base erosion and profit shifting and digital service tax. Data as a taxable asset. Now data has also become an asset. Administrative challenges. Even though we have advantages, there are certain challenges like double taxation, increasing disputes between tax authorities and taxpayers, etc. Next slide, please. Next is shifting business models. That is basically online business models are more prevailing now. Taxation of intangible assets, software, etc. has become an asset now. So that is also comes under the purview of taxation. Emergence of cryptocurrency and blockchain. These have advantages like transparency and anonymity, but still there are certain disadvantages like double taxation, tax evasion, tax avoidance, etc. Then taxation of digital goods and service. This point can be explained in connection with e-commerce and remote sale taxation. Taxation of digital advertising revenue. YouTube, Instagram, etc. has become a platform for advertising revenue nowadays. So this revenue is also required to be taxed. Then taxation of remote work, digital asset, taxation of digital payment system, and taxation of financial services. Next objective is the role of taxation promoting environmental sustainability. Our nature is facing a lot of problems nowadays, so our tax authorities is also adopting certain measures for promoting this environmental sustainability. Next slide, please. Carbon pricing. This is basically to decrease carbon footprints by giving certain tax incentives and schemes. Pollution tax is to reduce air pollution, water pollution, etc. Then incentives for renewable energy. Our tax authorities is giving certain incentives for using renewable source of energy like hydroelectric, solar power, etc. Next is resource extraction tax. That means tax is charged on extracting resources like natural resources like water, fossil fuels, etc. Next is environmental impact fee. That is a fee which is charged on the negative impacts created on the environment. This is also to discourage the companies from, polluting our environment. Next is transportation tax. This is also to reduce the waste or pollution created by vehicles in our environment. Land use tax is also to make the land consumption more feasible. Eco-labeling and tax credit. This is to promote the production of eco-friendly products more in our country. And last one is waste management tax. This is also to ensure the proper disposal of waste in our country. Now I invite Jasna Thomas for the next one.
Next objective is international comparison of tax administration with the Indian tax reforms. On the basis of tax administration efficiency, in India, Indian tax administration had challenges with the complexity, bureaucracy, and corruption. While looking into the international point of view, countries like New Zealand, Denmark, and Singapore were characterized by simplicity, transparency, and technology-driven process. And in the case of digitalization and automation, in India had recent forms like GST and digitalization through GSTN. And while looking into the international comparison, there were advanced digital tax systems in countries like Estonia and South Korea, which enabling online filling and real-time data exchange. And then let's move on to some of the suggestions. There are some nations who have either proposed or implemented digital service tax on revenue generated by digital service. They should take measures to bring that revenue also under tax review. Next one, enhancement of international cooperation and coordination can prevent tax evasion and can ensure fair taxation. Next, facilitate data sharing between tax authorities and digital platforms to improve tax compliance and enforcement. Last but not least, engage more with the stakeholders, including digital companies, policymakers, and civil society to develop balanced and effective tax policies for digital economy.
In conclusion, digitalization of taxation has more positive impacts and also negative impacts. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Next paper presenter is J. Kavya and co-author is Neil Kanta from our university. I request them to make present.
Good afternoon, London. Myself, I am Kavya pursuing rank of taxation, VSKUB University, Ballari. My subject topic is taxpayer prospective evaluation, e-filing satisfaction in India. Introduction part. In the recent year, India was witness to significant transformation in its tax administration landscape with the rapid adoption of information and communication technology. Introduction of online tax filing option in September 2004 on the voluntary basis for all categories of taxpayers. However, it was not until 2006 July that e-filing became mandatory for a corporate firms. Objectives of the study: to examine the relationship between the demographic profile, like age, gender, qualification, job status, and income level, and year of service, customer satisfaction towards e-filing. Next one, to investigation association between the reason of using e-filing mode to file return and customer satisfaction towards e-filing. Hypothesis of the study. First one, null hypothesis. There is no significant relationship between demographic profiles and satisfaction towards e-filing. Alternative hypothesis. There is a significant relationship between demographic profile and satisfaction towards e-filing. Next one, null hypothesis. There is no significant relationship between the reason for using e-filing modes to file return and satisfaction towards e-filing. Alternative hypothesis. Second, there is a significant relationship between the reason for using e-filing modes to file return and satisfaction towards e-filers. Research methodology. The study was descriptive in approach. The study was carried out primary databases which collected through suitable structured questionnaires. About the 100 questionnaires were distributed among the respondent. The study area of Ballari city, convenient sampling method under non-probability techniques. Later only 80 out of 100, 80 returned. 67 were selected for the study valid respondents. The study was conducted within the Ballari city during January 2020.
My name is Nilakanta. Data analysis result discussion. Frequency table for demographic profile of the respondent. The table shows the demographic profile of respondent. Participation in online income tax filing is diverse, reflecting various age groups, gender distributions, educational qualification, job status, income levels, and year of work experience. among the age brackets. Yes.
Important findings are good. Among important suggestions.
Results. The study revealed the significant relationship between demographic profiles and customer satisfaction toward e-filing. Chi-square test demonstrated strong association between demographic variables such as age, gender, educational qualification, job status, income level, and year of services satisfaction toward e-filing.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next presenter is Wasmani Manjuna and co-author Dr. Mubarak.
Good afternoon, all the intellectuals who are presented in the deliberation. I am Wasmani Manjuna, research scholar under the supervision of Dr. Mubarak, assistant professor in this university. Today I am here to present a research paper entitled India's Impact on Statement of Income Variables, a multi-industry examination. As you all know that India is in this modern globalization era, in order to foster the confidence of the stakeholders as well as to bring the investment to the company and facilitate informed decisions, financial statements are plays an important role. In order to prepare those financial statements, we require Indian accounting standards, accounting standard. In order to meet this globalization requirement, IASB has introduced IFRS. Those IFRS are converted into IndAS, and those IndAS are implemented in India from 2016 onward. And those accounting standards having impact on credibility, transparency, and relevance of the financial statements. Along with that, those are also having some impact on financial performance. That's why an effort to understand how India's impact on financial income statement of the selected companies. I have selected 18 companies which are listed in BSE, and those companies have classified based on the sectors. Okay, that's why we have taken. Go to next slide, sir. Software sector, FMCG sector, automobile sector, and power sector. All remaining individual companies have taken as other sector in order to conduct the study. I have collected data from official financial statement of the respected sample companies. This is the finding of the study. I have used variety test to know whether there is a significant difference between the financial variables, income statement variable before and after implementation of India. I got result that there is no significant impact. That's why I used one test to analyze in depth. That's why, see the next slide, go to next slide. This is the one day test. We can observe here software company significantly impacted. It means positively impacted from the India. Go to next slide, sir. Other than software company, no companies have impacted much from the India. But based on the main difference, which we can see, most of the companies have showing the positive impact from the India. But we cannot say India is only the reason for the impact of changes in the income variables, income statement variables. That's why I made an attempt to give the reasons for how India is impact on the financial income statement variable. I will give one example. See, in the earlier, before India's revenues, the net revenues were calculated in statement, in profit and loss account statement, revenue minus or less excise duty. But now excise duty is shown as the expenses, separate expenses in the income statement. That's why net revenue will increase. In the financial statement, net revenue will increase. Like that in depreciation also values increases because of property, plant and equipment valuation. So these are the reasons would be the would be the reason for the changes in the financial statements values. And after this research, I came to know that I need to conduct a case study in order to understand what exactly happens and how exactly the financial statement values are variables are changing due to the implementation of it. Thank you for giving this opportunity.
Next presenter is Budanur Suresh and co-author is Dr. Mubana. So next Dattatreya.
Good afternoon, one and all present here. The research title is The Comparative Study on Financial Reporting of Select Nifty 50 Companies Using Grace Comparability Index. So before I start with the introduction, the paper is made by Dr. Bhiman Gowda and myself. I'm a research scholar under the guidance of Dr. Bhiman Gowda. So before I start, there is a concept called Ind AS, which is converged with IFRS. So basically, it is like a language, common language that could be understood by everyone. Since we are going to globalization of opening up of economy, we need a common standard wherein all the accounting statements can be compared with various companies outside India. And so we have converged IFRS, international standards, with India called as Ind AS. So my study is basically the pre-Ind AS, that is Indian generally accepted accounting principles, and Ind AS. Is there any difference or based on Grace Index of Comparability? Now, Grace Index of Comparability is a common model that is being used to compare a standard which is already being followed and a new standard which is introduced into the financial reporting. So, the basic findings are on Grace indexes. A higher Grace index issued indicates a more conservative financial reporting and preference of understanding rather than overstating financial performance. For example, the expenses have been conservatively taken into consideration. Incomes will be only recognized when they are happening on actual basis, etc. Next slide, please. So the research gap from the review of literature is found that Grace index of comparability is not used in many of the researches, and Nifty 50 companies have not been taken into consideration. So this is the gap that I have found and done a research on this. Next slide. The objective is to find out the impact of convergence of Ind AS on financial reporting of Nifty 50 companies. Population, Nifty 50 companies were taken based on industry, selected based on the industry. Sampling method, convenient sampling was used, and each industry, one company from each industry. Please go to the next slide. These are the companies that has been taken for reference. Next slide. The formula for conducting the study is comparability index is 1 minus value of Ind AS minus value of IGAP divided by value of Ind AS. Next slide. Next slide. So the basic findings that I have found out is that there is a gap, or there is an increase in non-current liabilities of insured motors when compared with others. Basically, that is because of three things. One is the manner of recording current liabilities. Then Ind AS 109 talks about loans and how to recognize and re-evaluate loans. And the third one is based on the way in which we record deferred tax liabilities. So income tax, according to income tax standard, deferred tax liabilities is calculated differently. Next slide. Previous slide, sorry. Based on the income statement, again, income tax, Ind AS 12 gives us another way of recording the income tax based on deferred tax liability and asset, because of which the total income has changed from pre-Ind AS and post-Ind AS. Next slide. In conclusion, I would like to say is that this is basically a graphical analysis and no statistical analysis is taken up. And that is and the further research can be done on statistical basis, statistical test basis. Thank you.
Okay, sir, thank you. Now, I reach the prayer to present. Next, be ready. Yes, see the and co-author Dr. Mr.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dattaya, pursuing MCOM in this university. I am presenting a paper on bridge the revenue gap, exam state tax shares among the states. In introduction, the crucial fact it is that the tax distribution among the states is a major and crucial thing that is held by the Finance Commission of India, empowered by the Article 280 of Indian Constitution. Sir, next slide. Coming to our objective, to analyze and understand the regional dynamics of tax distribution among the states of this study. Next. Coming to research methodology, my research methodology used the secondary data and analyzed. It includes the various government websites and finance commission data and various government websites and government authenticated platforms. And it is purely descriptive in nature. Coming to findings, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar and Maharashtra, the top tables in the table of the tax distribution states. That is the dominance of Uttar Pradesh in the current finance period is 17.94%. It is slightly decreased compared to the previous Finance Commission report. While Bihar demonstrate upward movement towards the with comparison with previous reports. Maharashtra tax distribution retains stable, slightly increased from the 5.52 in 2015 to 6.32 in 2035. Coming to southern states of India, which is varied performance given by all the states. While come to the Karnataka, it is decrease in the share of the tax devolutions. While compared to okay. Conclusion. In the conclusion, I have found that this is a major fact we have to be considered. Sir, there are major considers to be used. Sir, next slide. These are the major criteria used to the list out the tax shares of the several states in India, and these are the criteria: population of that state and area of the state and forest and ecology. These are the 6 criteria. Among that, two are the new entrants in the current financial year. Thank you. The last two that is tax of the physical efforts. That means physical efforts and demographic performance. Those both are the performance based effect by the states. Sir, it is just a tax sharing ratio, sir. It is not overall tax collection.
Karnataka share in the total tax because of this criteria.
Yes, sir. These are the factors influencing the determine the.
But Karnataka is not agree with criteria that are used by.
Yes, sir. There are various comments on this. The committees have commented.
Thank you, Vijay. Now I request you to please. So next presenter, be ready. So many
Good afternoon, all the dignitaries on the dais and after the dais. Myself, S. Sridhar, a research scholar pursuing PhD under the guidance of Professor Ramesh Ovalekar, VSKUB University, Ballari. So today I am going to present a paper on the topic impact of corporate social responsibility disclosure on profitability of NSE listed banks in India. So corporate social responsibility is a communication channel.
Is there a relationship between CSR funds and profitability?
Yes, sir, there is a significant relationship with CSR disclosure and profitability, sir. So can you go to the last slide?
More the disclosure, more the profit, sir.
Yes, sir. Higher the disclosure, higher the profitability to the organization.
Company depends upon the sales and expenses which the company incurs to manufacture the goods, not on whether they disclose what they have done under the garb of CSR or not.
Sir, there are some of the intangible assets, intangible concepts which variables which can influence on the profitability of the organization, sir. So like customer loyalty, so again the employee commitment, all those factors which are going to influence on the profitability of the organization.
But not on CSR funds, disclosure of CSR activity. CSR disclose ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ
ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಆಗ್ತದೆ as per the result.
more the disclosure, the loyalty of the customers will increase. They show that profitability will increase. Yes, sir. Very good.
People who will buy the products of the company which is involved actively in CSR activity, that they will. Is it to what extent this statement is true? Yeah, I buy the product of the company not because it is involved in CSR activity, but because the product of the company is good. So then tell the CSR activity of the company. I buy the product because of its quality and the cost competitiveness, not because it has constructed hospitals or it has given money to the primary schools maintained by the members of the society. No need in research scholars begin and grow.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Sridhar. The next presenter is Soumya K.
Namaste all. Myself Soumya K.S., research scholar in the department under the guidance of Dr. Raghavendra Enna and working as assistant professor in the Department of Commerce, GFGC Bharamsagara. The topic I have chosen is analytical study of 6 years of GST practices in India. It is based on secondary data. I have made a descriptive analysis over the major practices that took only the key features which differentiated this tax GST from that of the earlier taxes. Here the objective is just to study whatever the changes has been taken place, particularly with respect to key features, and for that I have used only the secondary data. Here I summarize the whole analysis. The major purpose of introducing GST 6 years back was to the widening the tax base, increasing the number of taxpayers to collect more tax revenue, and particularly reducing the cascading effect, and even the more compliances, achieving more compliance. Whether we have achieved that over these 6 years, if you want to see that, yes, firstly, the unified tax with respect to that, it says that there will be only one tax for this one nation. Whether we achieved that, in one way I can say yes, but the other way there are even excise duty still it is existing for petroleum and alcohol product, which was stated that it will be removed over the period, but it not yet. There are many reasons even for that. Then multiple GST rate structures. Earlier it was planned to have only 4 rates, but right now there are 6 different rates. Next, when it comes to the taxability, GST is a destination based tax. Earlier tax system was the consumption based. Here again the states are commenting over this. Consumption based, but destination state will get the benefit of this tax revenue. Yes sir, consumption based. Next, it's a value added. Again, only on the value added there will be a tax. And the major advantage or benefit claimed for this GST was the ITC benefit over all the stages, and that was given in this. Next. Means everywhere the supplier, he will get credit for whatever the tax he has paid earlier. Next, registration means widening the tax base. Here the registration was increased from 38 crore 51 lakh to here 1 crore 40 lakh 91,249. Then compared it with the June, there is a mistake, July 2017, it includes even the migrated taxpayers from that of the earlier different taxable like service tax, excise and VAT. Including all those, it was only that much, and it was increased to 136% for now in the year 2022-23. But it doesn't say that the small taxpayers means GST has excluded small taxpayers by giving threshold limit. Still there is so much of registration, so we can find the growth in the registration. It doesn't mean that their turnover is more than 40 lakhs like this, but because of the restrictions given by the GST, or like if you want to get ITC, you must be get registered. If you want to make interstate sales, you must get registered. All those made even a small businesses to get the registration under GST. So even tax revenue collection has been increased over the years. Only during COVID pandemic it was decreased. And I would give certain suggestions like it should be made even more user friendly for small businesses.
Thank you, ma'am. The next presenter is Vasudhaju Vayan and co-author is Dr. Vinay. Next presenter is Gajendri S.
Good afternoon, everyone, and good afternoon, sir. Myself, Vasudhaju Vayan, there is a Scholars Department of Commerce, VSKUB Ballari. My topic is the financial reporting in steel industry. A comparative analysis of India's as well as Indian gaps, high gaps. Our main objective is to know the concept of comparability as well as to compare the financial statements prepared under as per India's and high gap standards. Yes, in this study, we taken the samples of the own company, JSW Energy Company Limited. The mandatory adoption of India's from 31st March 2016, and sampling method deliberately the own steel company have been selected, and also data which is available in 2016 and 17 financial year, because in this year only we get the both India's as well as high gap standards financial statements. So that we selected only 16 and 17 financial year, and source of data, secondary data we collected from the Money Control Act, provides IQAC data set. Yes. Hypothesis of the study is there is a no significant difference between the balance sheet items under the IGAP as well as India's. And alternative hypothesis, there is a significant difference in the balance sheet items reported under IGAP as well as India's. For this hypothesis, we use tools for data analysis. Statistical tools used for this are the average percentage as well as statistical inferences like a t-test. Yes, in this study, India's is taken as a benchmark, analyzing the accounting effect, major element of financial statements, moving from IGAP and India's. Variables considered as the assets as well as equity, liability, and income and expenses. These 5 factors is based on comparability model, which is a Gray's comparability model, which is a test the comparative analysis. This is what comparability index Gray's, and the principles in 1980 they involves 3 classification categories. First one, pessimistic and neutral. See, these are the parameters which is indicate that the result of the actual the point is indicate that 0.12 assets for the lower equity, lower than 0.9 is the liability and as well as expenses. Yes. As per the table, this is what the difference between India's as well as gap differences. According to the GCI index, this is the inferences. Yes, this is the chart. Yes, the result is they indicate that there may not be a significant difference between the means of 2 samples. In the one-time test, there is the negative direction. The p-value is 0.821. So greater than the chosen significance of 5.5. So suggested that there is an insufficient evidence to the reject the null hypothesis because there is not a huge differences between India's as well as IGAP standards. See, the overall outcome and conclusion of the study is, yes, the overall outcome of the study suggests that transition from the IGAP to India's has resulted that increase the optimism in the financial reporting, particularly income and expenses and financial activities. However, the assets and liability and equity remain relatively consistent in their reporting, both the standards. While there is some differences in India's and IGAP, they reported some financial parameters, especially income and expenses.
Thank you very much. Now I request the present BDS to make a presentation. Just be ready to make presentation. Bella Santoshi Basavaraj, be ready to make presentation.
Good afternoon, one and all. I am Gajendri, research scholar in the Department of Commerce, VSKUB University, Ballari. Hereby presenting a paper entitled Performance of Indian Postal Services and Overview under the guidance of Professor Satyodratha Persar. India Post, which is generally known as Post Office, is the government regulated postal network, which is a wide network across the world. It has a huge history of 170 years because the first post office has been established by the British East India Company in 1854. It has a rich history of 170 years and it is offering a wide range of services to the diversified customer such as delivery of mails, parcels, accepting deposits through various small saving schemes, offering insurance schemes like PLI and rural PLI, and with the invention of technology and internet revolution, it also offers a wide range of e-products and services. So we did this study with the objectives of studying the performance of Indian Postal Services and also analyzing the growth trends of Indian Postal Department in the recent years. And for this study, the study is purely based
on secondary sources. The data is collected from the annual reports of India Post and the reports of Ministry of Finance and other published articles and journals. And the data is, the studies for the period from 2017-18 to 2021-22, that is for 5 years. And these are some of the Indian postal services, as I said earlier, mail services, parcel, financial services, and with the invention of technology, it is offering a range of even e-products and services. India Post is also acting as a agent for government in order to reach the every unbanked population in rural areas to disperse the wage like Narega wages and PEM, SSY, PMJBY schemes and all. When we look at analysis part, the number of post offices in India, the total number of post offices in India has been increasing, showing a compound annual growth rate of 0.47. The 90% of the post offices are serving the rural population, 10% are serving the urban population, and we can see a growth in the number of post offices in India. And regarding mail traffic, we can see that in the initial years in 17-18 to 19-20, there has been increase in the mail traffic, whereas during the COVID time or after the COVID pandemic, we could see the decrease in the mail traffic because, and also with the invention of technology, now people don't use letters, postcards, etc. And that is why the mail traffic has been continuously decreasing. And number of accounts in various savings schemes like savings bank account, term deposits, SSA, SCSS, all other, the number of accounts have also been decreasing, but the sum assured that is guaranteed has been increasing. And regarding performance of PLI and rural PLI, we can see there is a gradual or considerable growth in the PLI and rural PLI with a CAGR of 6% and 11%. And as far as the revenue and expenditure concerned, unlike Sahara and Air India, India Post is a huge loss-making sector. We have in the year 2017-18, the loss was somewhere around 52%, whereas in the year 21-22, the loss percentage is 67%. The reasons being the technological innovations, which has taken away the business of mail and parcel services, and so I have observed in the study that the financial services of the postal department have been, we can see a considerable growth. So my suggestions would be post officers should offer mutual funds because they are people, Gram Dak Sevaks are the people who are very trustworthy, who can convince the rural population to invest in mutual funds. So in order to overcome the losses, the post officers should issue more of mutual funds, and the post officers should be made to work as a normal bank so that they can strengthen their financial services. So by strengthening financial services and by issuing mutual funds and with the technological advancements, the loss of these postal services or department can be overcome. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Next presenter is Abdullah Santosh Basavan and co-author Prakash Agarwal. Next presenter is B. Dayanand Uday.
Good afternoon to all the dignitaries on the dais and off the dais. Firstly, I would like to give the thanks to all the professors and organizers for giving me an opportunity, even though I submitted the paper at the next moment. So today's my paper's title is and study on impact of social media marketing on consumer buying behavior towards the food products. So in today's digital world, the social media is the most significant media for the consumers and marketers. So as we know that in a childhood, when food is served in our dish or in plate, we suddenly eat it, and that time we know, even though we don't know about this pizza, burger, just we know those sandwich or the breads, that's only. But nowadays what happened, the social media effect is a lot of, sir. Even the today's mothers or the mamas prepare the cheese roll or the other things like variety foods and yummy foods. Due to why? Because the TikTok and the Instagrams, which become more and more dominant places taken in our kitchens nowadays. So, the okay, sir. So my main objective is to examine the impact of social media marketing on consumer buying behavior towards the food products. So for fulfill these objectives, here I collected the samples from the 100 respondents, the sample size, and here it is based on the price data, and whatever the questionnaire is collected, that is a closed structure. And here the some demographic profiles of the respondents are here, and some questions I prepared to collect the factors that impact on a social media and consumer buying behaviors. So here findings that is a significant portion of respondents perceiving the social media having the positive impact on food items, and that's why the social media is the strongest platform for promoting and culinary appreciation, showing the food, etc. And my suggestion is there must be a collaborate after this COVID or the post-pandemic what we call post-pandemic situations. Most of the people have become aware about their health. So that's why there must be a collaboration between the these content creators and the health professionals and the nutritionists who can produce and encouraging the balanced diet foods. That is very helpful for creating the healthy India. So healthy cow or healthy banjao, that slogan we have to create. That is my suggestion for here. And finally, overall this research contribute to the deeper understanding of the interplay between the social media and the food cultures. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I would like to call last presenter Dayananda Vade and co-author Vishwanath B and Mallikarjuna Maharati from Rani Chennamma University.
Good afternoon, everybody gathered over here. Very delighted to present my research paper in front of two great personalities. Chairperson of this technical session, Professor Kamble sir. One more great personality, that is a guru of my guru. I am the student of Murdi. The Murdi is a student of Sharajiti sir as well as Kamble sir. Coming to the point, my research paper, the entitled Enhancing Customer Loyalty Through Product Augmentation Strategies, Insights from Durable Goods. As you all know, the customer will buy the product based on the facilities or on the basis of quality and on the basis of a brand from which company they have been produced. At the same time, customer, because we see the Indian customers are like price sensitive customers. They will go for price, they will go for first while seeing the product, they will see the MRP, what is the MRP of this product, that is price sensitive customers. At the same time, they will go for loyal to the company, loyal to the product, and then they will go for purchase decision based on the augmented facilities or the augmented products they are offering, like free sales, warranties, guarantees, then what for durable cities, installations, warranties, promotions, and etc. The research objectives of my research study is to identify strategies which are used by the durable goods and its impact on the product augmentation on customer loyalty and its buying decision. This is the research methodology I have used. Methods I have used is descriptive and empirical methods. I have collected, the paper is based on both primary as well as secondary data. Primary data is collected through well-structured questionnaires which are served through online, through Google Form. About 190 respondents were responded to my questionnaire. and I have used descriptive statistical methods to analyze the collected data. My findings of the research is the previous slide. It is a demographical profile which could not be which would not be explained. These are the major findings what I have found through my research. The types of durable goods the respondents using, like they are using like furnitures, refrigerators. These are the variables I have taken from my study, and I have found that they are feeling some features will be influencing to be loyal to the product, or their brands, environmental friendly products, convenience to buy the product, marketing strategies what they are using to communicate with the customers, and the price quality of the product. Yeah, this one. Yes, the key factors influencing customer loyalty towards durable. Majority of the customers just they have opined that tutorial about usage of goods means usage of refrigerator, how to use and how to fix. But installation will be made by the company itself, but usage it will be done themselves, right? That is tutorial. And strategies expected by the respondents is free ships, and these are there here. That is free supplies, product trials, updates. For updates they are going for. And this is what my conclusion. Through this conclusion, I want to tell majority of the respondents very happy and loyal to the company, and they will go for buying decision based on the tailored services, that is customized services which offered by the companies, and brand reputation. At the last, that is at quality. On the basis of quality, they will go for buying decision. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you very much.
Learned members of the Faculty of Commerce of this university, Dr. Shirar Sethi, the keynote speaker of this technical session, and delegates, student come delegates of this conference. I appreciate the students who have made an attempt to write a research paper and who have presented the same here. But there is a long way to go. Don't stop here. It should become a habit of writing the research paper and presenting it. Writing the research paper is an art, and you will master that art provided you are at it on daily basis. So don't be disheartened when we say that the quality of the paper was not good or something like that. The one who succeeds is the person who makes an attempt in writing the research paper. So in the days to come, you will definitely improve the quality of the research papers that you produce, provided you are at it. So constant effort is required on the part of the academic to keep on writing the research papers. So I thank you all. I thank Professor Shirar Sethi. He has excelled us in presenting the experience that he has acquired in teaching the subjects at the postgraduate level. He has done a very, very appreciable work by presenting his views on business analytics and reporting, which I hope will go a long way in nuancing the importance of business analytics and reporting. Gone are the days when people used to take the decisions based on guesswork, but guesswork will not work these days. So you have to collect the data, analyze it, interpret it, find your strengths and weaknesses and opportunities, and then proceed further with the implementation of the decisions. If need be, midterm course correction is also required. So Professor Shirar he has thrown light on this important issue which is confronting the business world today. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for doing justice to this topic. Lastly, I thank the report chair and the learned people working in the Department of Commerce for giving us an opportunity to be here on this occasion. Thank you.
Thank you for your valuable suggestions. It is time to facilitate guest. I request all faculties of our department to facilitate the chairperson of this session, Professor H.Y. Kamble, sir. Thank you, sir. Next, to facilitate the keynote speaker of this session, Professor A.S. Yorashiki, sir. Keynote speaker of this session, Professor A.S. Yorashiki, sir. Thank you, sir. Next, to facilitate the report of this session, Dr. Mehta, sir. Thank you all. Now, next, the last part of the session is vote of thanks. I would like to call Dhanraj, research scholar, to propose a vote of thanks.
Good afternoon to the dignitaries on the dais and off the dais. I stand here to propose vote of thanks. It's given me immense pleasure to express a heartfelt thanks to our esteemed chairperson, Dr. H.Y. Kamble sir, for gracing us with their presence, sharing insights on in a sweet manner how to prepare an article in their own manner. And I wish to extend my sincere appreciation to our esteemed keynote speaker, Professor A.S. Shirla Shetty sir, for their insightful thoughts on business analytics and data analysis with a different perspective and different research methodology. I extend my heartfelt thanks to Dr. Meghraj B. sir for his invaluable guidance as a reporter during this session. For your expertise and support were instrumental in ensuring smooth functioning of this session. Last not the least, I also express my gratitude to professors, participants, technical team, research scholars, and my dear students whose collaborative efforts leads to the success of this session. Once again, thank you one and all.